Hello, welcome back to the video lecture on writing for academic and professional success. This is the second part of the video lecture for the Unit 6 Mechanics and Conventions of Writing. The first video we discussed the first two punctuations such as comma and semicolon. Now we have to discuss the third punctuation, that is colon. Colon are often used in formal and informal context. According to grammar rules, colon are used in the following situations. First one, to separate two independent clauses where the first introduces or explains the second. Let's see the examples. I have not even completed half my revision exercise, colon, my examination is around the corner. My examination is near. So I have not even completed half my revision exercises. So this is an independent clause and it introduces something. And the second part gives an explanation why this statement is important. So I have not even completed half my revision exercise because my examination is around the corner. Okay, but the examination is around the corner like that. I just landed in Dubai, colon, the land of my dreams. Okay, I just landed in Dubai. That is the introduction of the sentence, and he explains more about that particular land, the land of my dreams. The second usage is to start a list of items. The following, or to state a list of items. Okay, the following holy books were mentioned in the essay: colon, New Testament, Bhagavad Gita, Holy Quran, Tripitakas, comma, and Guru Granth Sahib. Almost all the religions texts are mentioned here. Okay, so here, just before starting the uh, text, they gave a colon here. Next one, the third usage, to introduce a quotation that is independent from the structure of the main sentence. There might be quotations that are independent from the main structure. Let's see this example. Thiruvalluvar was arguably one of the earliest Indian writers to observe the ecological functions of rain, colon. And it's a quotation from his work. The world survived because of the rains, and therefore rain is known to be the nectar of immortality. Another quotation. Rachel Carson has something to say on the present trend of specialization, colon, double inverted comma. This is an era of specialists. Each of whom sees his or her. The quotation goes on like that. So that's how colon is used to, separate quotation from the main text. Next, to separate title from subtitle. Okay, to separate title from subtitle. The note of disharmony, colon, failed marriages in Anila Desai's novel. Disinheriting the globe, colon, tragic conditions in Shakespeare. Okay, so these are two examples where main heading is separated from the subtitle using colon. Next punctuation mark is double quotation mark. Okay, in academic writing, double inverted comma or double quotation marks are generally used to present a material directly taken from a source. If you are using a quotation which is taken from another book, you should use double inverted comma or double quotation mark. They are also used to set of titles of essays, poems, stories. So see, quotation marks help you to differentiate ideas or words from of others from your own ideas. Okay, if you are writing an academic essay and if you are using some lines from an essay written by another person, you have to give those lines in double inverted comma like this. See, okay, and to set of titles of essays, journals and magazine articles, poems and short stories. In his story, When the Big Trees Fall, N.S. Madhavan arguably offers a critique of the anti-Sikh riots. Okay, so see, it's talking about N.S. Madhavan, the famous writer, and his famous book, his famous short story, When Big Trees Falls, One Marangal Veerumbol. Okay, this is given in the double inverted comma. Okay, so these are the two uses of double inverted comma or double quotation marks. Next one, single quotation marks. Single quotation mark becomes heady when you introduce a word or phrase as a technical term. Okay, if you are using a word or phrase, for example, the word ecology. See, the word ecology derives from the Greek oikos, meaning household, place to live, etc. Anand reiterated his resolve to strive, to seek, and not to yield, like that. Next one is apostrophe. Apostrophe is like principals, my father's, etc. Apostrophe s. This is known as apostrophe, that particular comma kind of thing that we gives above the noun. So the main use of apostrophe is to indicate a contraction or a possession. Apostrophe is also used to form the plural of a numbers, letters, symbols, abbreviation, or a word presented as a word, and to indicate some omitted letters in formal writing. So let's see. Contracted forms are not encouraged in academic state. Okay, possessive forms of personal nouns, etc. Mine, yours, his, ours. Do not take apostrophes. Okay. So the new examples are given like here. The new trainers for boys. Okay, boys means plural. That's why the apostrophe is given after yes. If it was only one boy, the apostrophe would have been given after y. Okay, and girls. Cricket teams have taken charges last week. Mohana's car got struck. See, Mohana apostrophe S car. Kamal has a bachelor's degree in journalism. Students help desk. Okay, this is for more students, not one student. If it were for one student, the apostrophe would have been given after T. Okay, like that. So that is apostrophe. Next one is parenthesis and brackets. Okay, these two type of brackets. As a general punctuation mark, parentheses are used to set off an information which is non-essential to the meaning of the sentence. It is also used to expand or clarify the preceding or following information, to expand abbreviations and to insert dates, etc. Okay, some examples are given here. See, the present ADGP has expressed her concern over the rising attacks on women in public. Okay, so this particular part phrase that is given inside the bracket or parenthesis is an explanation about ADGP, which is not necessary, but we can give informations like that inside the bracket. So the present ADGP, he or she is an IPS officer from 1981 batch. That is not important regarding what decision she has taken. Okay, but it's an additional information. RAC, reservation against cancellation. So RAC is a term that is commonly used in railway ticket booking and all. So it's an abbreviation, short form. So the expansion of RAC is given here. Reservation against cancellation. Tickets are allotted with berths only if passengers with confirmed tickets do not turn up. Okay, like that. Then in order to give dates or years, Ramachandra Goa in his A Corner of a Foreign Field 2002. It is the year in which this particular book is written or published. Okay, so like dates, APJ Abdul Kalam 1931 to 2015 was the 11th president of India. Okay, that age in which those years in which he lived. So, okay, like that. So these are the uses of parenthesis or bracket. Then dash. Okay, dash is also called M dash. It should not be confused with the slightly shorter version N dash and hyphen. Okay, and M dash is the 3 times longer than a hyphen. Okay, it's 3 times longer than hyphen. Can be used to replace a colon, comma, or parenthesis. Okay, sometimes these are used to replace colon or commas, and sometimes bracket. No student. See, then dash is given. Not even the leader of the students' union was present to receive the chief guest. Okay, no student was present to receive the chief guest was the main point. But in order to elaborate that, not even the leader of them. So this M dash is given before the phrase and after the phrase. Kiran could not pass all the papers in the first attempt. Many of his classmates were worse compared to him in the performance. Okay, then and so he was not eligible to attend the placement review. So Kiran could not pass all the papers in the first attempt, and so he was not eligible to attend the placement review. These are the important part of this sentence. So this thing which is given, this particular part that is given inside the dash or M dash is not necessary. So this can be given inside a bracket also. Okay. Then next one is hyphen. Recent times have witnessed widespread use of hyphenated words, and so you may find variations in the way hyphens are used by different writers. If you are unsure of the use of hyphen in compound words, it's better to check a dictionary. Okay, so hyphens are used in compound words beginning with an adverb. Hyphen is used only the adjective comes before the noun. For example, ill-fitting clothes, lower priced edition, well conceived idea, a long lasting performance, well written article, etc. The edition I purchased was low priced. Arjun's article was well written. Okay, so sometimes we can use these words without hyphen as well. And compound numbers less than 100 are usually spelled with a hyphen. For example, numbers after 20 up to 99 can be spelled used hyphen. For example, 75, 42, 24, etc. can have a hyphen between the two numbers. Okay. Next one is period. That means full stop. The period is considered as the simplest punctuation mark. Period falls at the end of a sentence. Okay, at the end of the sentence, which means that the idea is complete. Sometimes question mark or exclamation mark are used. So when question mark or exclamation mark are used, there is no need to use another period or full stop in that sentence. So sentences ending with question marks or exclamation mark do not require periods. A direct quotation ends with a question mark, but an indirect question ends with a period. Okay. So this is all about periods. Then capitalization. Capitalization means we have to capitalize the first word of certain, first letter of certain words. So capitalization refers to writing the first letter of a word in uppercase and the rest in lowercase. As an academic writer, you are advised to use capitalization only if it is essential. Okay, writing words in all caps, even to emphasize, is not considered as a standard practice in formal writing. Okay, we have to use capitalize only the first word of a sentence, or sometimes the first word of the first letter of a word in a sentence, or maybe sometimes the first letter of the noun or name of a person, like that. You're familiar with that? I don't have to give much details about that. I'm well aware of the fact that it's well-known practice among us to capitalize the first word or the first letter of certain words. Okay, so these are all about prepositions. Next one is about academic style. The term academic style refers to the differences of academic essays, project papers, journal articles, dissertation from other writings like newspaper articles, magazine essays, etc. This means that academic writing has a different style from the non-academic writing, such as newspaper article. So we have to follow certain style guides to have a good command over academic writing. We have already learned the certain names of the certain style guides in the previous lessons, like MLA, Modern Language Association, APA, American Psychological Association, Chicago Manual, etc. So see here, documentation style vary depending on your discipline. For instance, writers from liberal arts and humanities usually take MLA style. For example, students studying English, history, geography, economics, etc. usually use MLA style, and students from social science and science by and large follow APA style. Then there are other styles as well, like Chicago Manual, Oxford University style, Cambridge style, etc., which are peculiar to those particular universities. Okay, if you're writing to publish in a particular journal, it's essential for you to understand the style followed by the journal before you start your work. Okay, so if you are planning to send an article to a particular academic journal, you need to know which style they are actually following. So you have to follow that line, that style, and write your paper accordingly. Okay, so yeah, the first one is MLA style. Modern Association has been publishing its style guide since 1985. MLA means Modern Language Association. This is a style that is mostly used for writing in humanities. Okay, there are certain samples given in the page number 103 and 104. You have to go through them in order to answer certain uh, short answer questions. Then APA style is another important style that is mostly used in scientific writing. Okay, there is a particular structure that is followed, including title page, abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, reference, appendix, etc. And in MLA style, different style is adopted for bibliography writing, whereas in APA, different methods are adopted for writing this bibliography. And academic integrity is a moral code of conduct everyone in an academy should follow. We have already learned honor code, etc. So this actually tells us about to be careful about plagiarism. in writing.